De Cuba traigo el son ritmo sabroso. De Cuba dulce caña y rico ron. Café como no hay otro en el Caribe. Y el más chiflado golpe de
All right, so what's up, YouTube? So welcome to my channel where, dear God, are we there yet? We talk about self-growth, passion to empower, and what I'm focusing on in this series is budgets and business. I like big budgets and I cannot lie. So I love business. Anybody that knows me, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love budgets. I love budgets for so many different reasons. And I'm not really like a numbers person. It's not something that like I love math or something. I mean, I can add, subtract, do the basics. But I'm not like a math kind of person. But when it comes to budgets, it's like math gets me, and I get it because it's numbers in the sense of money and formulas that actually do make sense because, it's not all that algebra stuff. I mean, algebra it does work for different industries, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about this video where 3 ways to have an honest conversation about money. Where do I even start? So the whole point of making this budgets and business series, and I want to talk about this really, really important because there's so many people that need it. And I always say that Dear God, Are We There Yet is all about having these conversations and talking like it's 1995. And in nowadays, times have changed. Times are changing. I mean, I can ask you, when's the last time that you went to the grocery store and kind of compared how much a gallon of milk was when you were 10, right? Completely different. I mean, a gallon of milk is probably different from just 2 years ago. And things are changing and I cannot stress how we need to be really educated and having these conversations about money. And it's not something, I mean, it's taboo. A lot of people don't like to have conversations about money because they feel fearful. Or they're having the wrong conversations about money and people are telling you something completely different that doesn't work for you. Or we're listening to people or we're reading these things of, these clickbaits, how to make $1 million in a month, how to make $1 million in a year, and it's like, okay, so let's really run the numbers. You made that great, awesome, wonderful, but let's teach people now not just how to make that, let's teach people how to, manage it. And a lot of people do not know how to manage their money. A lot of people are not saving for the future. A lot of people don't know what a budget is. A lot of people don't even know what, an investment account is. They don't even know what a CD is, a 401k, an IRA. They don't know what, just lots of different things. I know I didn't know about a lot of this stuff. And I think working in corporate America at one point, it kind of opened my eyes because, HR gives you those like long and drawn out things, and then you're like, oh wow, this is for the future. Oh wow. But just important things like health insurance or long-term disability, or these are a lot of things that entrepreneurs don't think about because entrepreneurs are only focused on making the money, but then when they get the money, they don't know what to do with it, or they can't hold on to it, and I don't know everything about money. I can only share with what I know, and I'm still learning. And Lord knows I have made so many mistakes. And this is why I really wanted to add this series in my YouTube channel, because there's a lot of things that I've personally made mistakes. And I want to share that with you guys. And especially when it comes to credit, oh God, the good, the bad, and the ugly about it. And the importance of you do not need to pay someone to fix your credit. Okay, you don't. If you understand how the credit bureau works and you understand how it works and your rights. A lot of people don't even know what your rights are as a consumer. Yes, the reason why they put all those little privacy policies and disclosures in the bottom of everything is because they 99% chance you're not going to read it, so they can probably just screw you over. So I'm going to tell you this. In the entire business series, I'm going to show you the letters that you can write to your credit bureau and get stuff taken off. I've done it. Or you can call people and negotiate certain things and be like, why is this on my credit? Or not have solicitors go on your credit and how you should be checking your credit, what's important. And again, this is a disclosure. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a guru of any of that stuff. I've just done a lot of research about it, and I've been the guinea pig on a lot of this stuff. I don't know. My mom was calling me. So, when you get a call in, it just stops. My whole point is that I've been a guinea pig in this entire financial world, as far as, oh my God, having investments account and being chipped off and losing my money, having to take out money out of my 401k at one point. Like, there's a lot of scenarios, and this is why this is so important. And when I ever sit down with people, or even my clients before, and I've given them the budgets, they would feel overwhelmed. They don't want to have a conversation about money, and I get it. Nobody wants to have a conversation about money. But the point is that you need to have a conversation with yourself about it. And if you're in a relationship, they always say that one of the biggest reasons that people fight or have disagreements, it's because about money. It's about money. And personally, and I have to say, like, I am so blessed to not have that issue. My wife and I, we have a clear communication, and we're on the same page when it comes to what we want in life. But there's a lot of people that do not have that. So if you're listening to this YouTube channel and you have a partner, or you're married, or you're dating, because that's another thing, you dating. If you dating, you need to be, what's your credit score? What's your debt? No, I'm just joking. No, I'm not. Maybe I'm not, because we're living in a time that you don't even know what people have. So, I walk around and I'll tell you, look, I got student loans for my degrees. I'll tell you, but there's people that are not like that, and they don't have a good relationship with money. So that then you start putting your name in stuff with them, and then they screw up your credit. And oh my God, this is the 3 ways to have an honest conversation about money. Or someone spends more than the other, or, and people have addictions when it comes to shopping things or buying certain things or hobbies. I will give you a little story, side note. I had an honest conversation with myself about money when I had Fabula Designs, when I first started Fabula Designs, and I was learning about the business of fashion. And I had an obsession with fabric. And every time I went to these, manufacturers, or I would be viewing them or taking tours, and I'd be like, oh my God, I can just get one roll. I just need 50 yards. That's it, no more. And then I see another, and I'm like, just 25 of that. And I told myself, like, this, it kind of forced me, because when I first started Fabula, I lost a lot of money, like right off of the gate, over 10K, because my first collection didn't sell because I overbought. And I just had inventory sitting there. So I was like, oh gosh. And that's what forced me to really understand. I was in college, I was learning business, but you're young, you don't want to hear, you think you know everything. You're like, whatever, you're a hater. No, I wasn't thinking like a business person. And so I had an honest conversation. And even now, when I go to the store, I have to tell myself, okay, you're going to buy that fabric for whatever you're going to make. And because those are things that you love. And those are little addictions that we end up loving because it's our thing. So mine was fabric. Yours could be anything else. There's a lot of people that have shoes or their cars, their hair or their nails or whatever the case, or handbags. I'm talking about women, but men have it too. So these are honest conversations that you need to have yourself, where I'm going to start with, first, you need to accept the present. You have to accept the present, that if you have not saved whatever you want to save, or if you're not saving, if you don't have the 7 bank accounts or the 6 bank accounts or the 5 bank accounts or the investment plan, like, just accept your present right now and say to yourself, fine, no problem. I haven't done it, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to understand what I need to do. I'm willing to understand what I'm doing wrong. And I'm willing to have an open mind of how can I have a better relationship with my money. Am I paying myself? Am I not paying myself? Can I help other people? Am I helping the community? Maybe you don't want to help the community. Maybe that's just not your thing. Why should, it should be your thing. You should be helping the economy. by helping organizations that need it. But anyways, so you have to accept your present. I think that we get into this when we get overwhelmed when we're reading something or we're watching something and we're like, oh my God, I'm not saving enough, or I'm never going to get to this, or blah, blah, blah. And then we overwhelm ourselves. And then that's what sets up for failure, because we haven't accepted our present. So accept your present right now, that it's okay. Have that conversation with yourself where you're writing it in your journal, or you're making a conscious effort every time you're taking out your check card or your credit card, whatever the case is, that you're saying, okay, I know what I'm doing right now. I need to be conscious of what I'm doing, but I need to get better. That's the first thing. You need to reflect on your past habits and reflect on those conversations as what did I do in the past, or what have I been doing in the past that is not getting to me where I need to go. And or if you're having a conversation with your family, like get everybody involved in your family. And I'm going to have a YouTube channel for parents and moms or people with families that to talk about budgeting. And I'm going to just give this disclosure. I'm going to use my experience based on my own family, as far as like my mom, my dad, my, family members when I was growing up, and even, as an adult, because I don't have children yet. So I don't want to tell you, you need to be doing this or you need to be doing that. But I know the basics of the basis for anything, as far as when it's more than one person, and I can give you my nuggets and then you can take what you want to take. But check out for that YouTube channel. That YouTube video that's going to be on there. But you have to sit down with your family or your partner or your husband or your wife and look at your account, like print out your bank record, your statements or your credit card statements, and look at what's reflected in the past. And don't say, oh, you think, because it's in black and white. You it's in black and white. You already spent it. You already know you went to Barney's 5 times in a week. I don't know. I don't go to Barney's. But so you have to also reflect on the past and see exactly what you've done, so that you can be, again, like, okay, I see that in 1 week we went out to eat or whatever, and that wasn't in mind, or that we didn't do XYZ. Like, you have to reflect on that past. You have to reflect on those actions that you did, because if you pinpoint them, the minute you're going to go do it again, you're going to remember that you remember that. Like, I'll give you an example. And I'm only using Starbucks because I used to love Starbucks, again, when I lived in New York. So, because it's accessible, everybody's walking, you need a coffee, it's cold. You want a hot coffee, it's hot. You want a cold coffee, and it's right there. So in cities, it's very hard. But if you look at your bank statement and you highlight Starbucks, take that and put it on top of your refrigerator, right on your refrigerator, and look at it and be like, okay, so in the morning you look at it like, I ain't going to Starbucks. I went there last week for 5 times. You just have to reflect on your past. And these are the honest conversations that you're going to tell yourself. And don't give yourself excuses of why you went and justifications of why you went to Starbucks 5 times in a day, because that's not going to get you anywhere. And then the last one I would say is prosper for future. These honest conversations that we talk about, like our goals or dreams, or maybe, again, I always talk about like houses or traveling, or for businesses that want to, grow their businesses and have locations and teach other women or men or whatever the case is. Like, those things require steps. You can't just wake up one day and be like, well, I'm going to do that. And even if you are financially free, meaning that you have a budget, let's say these are for people who have a budget as well. Maybe you're listening, you're like, I have a budget. I know exactly what I need, or how I get there. There's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. I'm always looking for different ways. I'm always listening to different podcasts, and I'm always reading certain articles from business professionals, because I don't know everything. I don't want to know everything. I always want to keep learning. And so, because times change, so if I'm thinking, wow, I should probably move more towards a cash flow, or I should probably not think about that type of insurance, or I might, or yes, the deductible, or whatever the case is, you have to prosper for your future. You have to have these conversations constantly with yourself, because your budget will change constantly. It's not just you do one budget and it's done. It will change, and you have to have the conversation saying, why am I allocating all that money to this? Or wow, I didn't realize that I lent, you'll say these conversations like if somebody says to you, hey, can you lend me $500 and I'll pay you back? And you're like, okay, should I treat this like a professional, like a bank, and you give me an interest of 1%, or maybe that person owes you $500 for the past 7 years. You ain't never gonna get it back, by the way. Just letting you know. When you let people borrow money, you're not getting it back. Mm-mm. And if you get it back, you should be getting it back like a bank was giving it, because you should just give it as a gift. That's what I have to say about that. So these are 3 ways to have a conversation with about money with you and your family. Again, this is something that maybe you can sit with your spouse and they can write financial goals and just open-ended questions like, what can you do to be better with money, or to save, or have them come up with the ideas. Don't go sitting there, okay, ladies, don't go sitting there telling your partners, well, you need to stop buying this, or you need to. Don't do that, because you need to stop doing whatever you're doing too. So because sometimes we don't even know that it's a problem, or it's something that adds up, like that $1 McDonald's coffee. We only think it's $1, but it's really not $1. It's $1.06 because of tax. In some states, it's probably more. And it will be, when you add that up at the end of the month, it's $30. You could have bought you a coffee pot at Walmart, Target, and used the crazy coupon lady coupon. Probably got it 50% off. But you could find ways to alternate and and it's not forever. But sometimes if you want to get to those goals in the future financially, like if you want to travel or if you want to retire early, especially if people want to retire early, I'm going to leave. This is going to be my last thing. When's the last time did you log into your Social Security Administration? Because you think that, oh, I can retire early. What you think? The government's not going to want his money? He's not going to be like, what Uncle Sam's not going to be, what's my money? What dame dinero? Give me money. Exactly. So being educated in all the aspects, and sometimes things look pretty on the outside, but when you really put on your thinking cap and start to dig deep, you understand that the number one thing in our personal lives that help us as far as to reach these things when it comes to a financial point, and not everything is money, and I'm going to repeat this over and over again, not everything is money. It's not. It really isn't. There's so many ways of life, and that the universe can grant us amazing opportunities and things, but this entire series is about the money aspect for our everyday lives and for our future. But money is not everything. It really isn't everything. You can have all the money in the world and there will always be something that's missing. And I don't have to tell you that because I haven't had all the money in the world. But I'm just saying that celebrities or people or rich people will tell you that too. Like Biggie said it, more money, more problems. Right? So all I'm saying is just to be smart with your money. That's all I'm saying. So those are 3 conversations that you need to have about money.